Right. Oh, okay, we're nearly there. I'm still doing a bit of a mess today. So, only half hour late. So yeah, I am half hour late, yes. I was actually asleep. Right. Let's tidy up some of this stuff while we're at it. Oh, whoops. I've had it sitting on the pipe for a bit. That didn't do it any good. Oh well. Right. So at this point, this is pretty close to done. There's little bits of detailing and stuff to do, but otherwise you can see I've had weight on it in places and it's deforming. That's because this thing is incredibly soft. Like, ridiculously soft. It's like... It actually deforms over time, like just leaving it. So, this is pretty much done, and we've also got a pretty decent carriage for it. Now you might just be going, well, okay, so why aren't I painting it? Well, this mini nuke that I keep using isn't the one that's going on it. This is, well, this is one that I made for decoration quite some time ago. I mean, it fits and it's fine, but yeah, I want to keep this one for something else. So, basically I'm going to have to make some more, and essentially this is what I've been making them out of for years. And we've now running into a bit of a problem of, I mean, I got these back in 2015 when I started cosplay, and they're becoming pretty difficult to find. And that means that for these, that's all I have left, which is the two of them. So, I'm going to see if I can replicate the shape. So basically I'm going to turn these two and try to make a third to, okay, that's the plan. We're just going to try to make a third, so we can try to replicate the shape out of normal EVA foam. But it just means I'm making 3 mini nukes this round instead of 1. So there you go, fun! Unfortunately, I did not plan this out that well, because I would have grabbed all the tools before getting out. So now I have to track down a set of pliers. Some old cutters, they could work. And pipe grips, yeah, screw it. A combination of those two should work. So, first off, I mean, we're following the same plan as I used before. So if you've seen my mini nuke videos, then, yeah, look, I'm going to follow my own instructions. this one. Okay, that's yellow at the bottom. At the bottom of the hole's yellow. Interesting. There is no second yellow layer in this. But whatever's down the bottom of that is yellow. Yeah, it's still just foam. Basically, this one's not getting built all the way up, or one of the two isn't, because I want to make a nuke. Now, that one is a plan from the future, but basically it's exactly the same design, but with a light ring around the top instead of hazard stripes. Ooh. Oh, that came out messily. It's okay, I mean, it's fixable, but, I mean, you won't really notice on the final thing, but, ugh. I don't like it when it comes out as a mess. I'll say, that's a lot of glue holding those in. Let's grab that one. Okay, and that one tore to shreds while coming out, but it came out, so there you go. So now we have those two, and we have to start making our application of it, so... get tape. Okay. Oh. Okay, so that there is now completely covered. Let's get a pen. Now you probably can't see the lines I'm drawing, but I am just drawing straight lines across it. Separating the surfaces, I'm going to separate it into eighths, then transfer those lines. Oh, I did pass over it there. Okay, so they're not exactly visible, but there are a set of lines going around there. Ooh, I went in way too deep. Well, this is the most sticky that this tape has ever been. Really, this is the most sticky this tape has ever been. Wow. Okay, that there is the sliver I needed. And now we know which one is going on the Fatman. It's this one, because it looks awful. It's had the surface all ripped up, it's got cuts on it. And you might think, hey, but it's got cuts all over it, it's going to look awful. And yeah, you're right. And then of course, why would you want the awful looking one on the Fatman? Because, you know, they would ruin the look of the whole thing. Well, yes and no. Because when you're dealing with like a big finished prop, having like one small part of it be bad in some way isn't actually that bad in comparison to having the whole thing be bad. Because people are going to look at it and go, wow, that is a lot of detail And when they're taking in all the detail, they're not going to be too bothered about the fact that a big section's missing or something like that. Okay, when I say missing, I mean like you can have one bit that's like really crap and I'll just look past it because there's too much for the rest of it. Okay, so we've got one of them. And we know that that is 1/8 of the shape. Basically, it's going to end up like that. Just that way is the launching end, because that ends, again, there's a big hole in the bottom of this, and there's big holes on the side. And if you look, I'm not joking when I say people overlook the thing there. That hole is that hole, but I've just got a little bit of foam in it. And you can see it at the bottom there, it's flat. And around here you've got the big holes in the side, which is there. But again, it's been hidden. Because I mean, you can actually see one of the seam lines for the colour changes as well around there. Nobody ever notices it. Okay, so if we use 5mm, means Fatman, come over here. Okay, let's put you somewhere where you are not. Okay, at worst you're going to be stepped on, but 65 low enough. Okay, we don't have enough of the 45. In a second I will grab the CF45. It's the lowest quality foam I have, but also we actually have CF45. Yep. That's fine. 45, that's really soft. It's the softest, lightest stuff I have. But you know, I feel about the same, so I think that's the same for everyone. Ooh, that's 100. Okay, I've come to the conclusion this sheet is either 45 or 65, but I either don't have 45 or you know, let's knock that on. So we've got the heating. Yeah, so we've got the little thing on. Today is not the day for expertise, it appears. So let's use this as intended, because if this works, as you'd imagine, this is an experiment to see if it works or not. Also, in this case, usually if I'm making something permanently, I would make it out of higher quality foam. Because in general it's a money saving thing. The higher quality foam, because essentially it's better, holds its shape better and stuff like that. But when it comes to prototyping, I use the cheapest stuff I have. Also, I'm transferring that again because the tape on top is making it difficult to use and get a good pattern off of. I don't mind if it makes it a tiny bit bigger. I mean, we're already taking a lot of distortion in this case. Right. Now back to the cutting. Hello, I'm fine. How are you doing today? That is 4, 5, 6. Seven. And 8. I mean, if this works, I will be able to produce plenty of these in future. If it doesn't, well, crap happens. I mean, we'll find out when we get there. Heating system, what are you doing? Put the knife away. That bumping noise that's going through is bad. Very bad. That makes 8. Okay, let's chuck you in here. Okay, that should be warmed up by now. I'm sticking this the wrong way already. 4. 5. 'A nice flower at the moment. 6. 6. Yeah, you can see some of my cutting mistakes here. 7. And 8. It's supposed to be stuck that way because I want the crappy side facing outwards, not out. Because this is going to end up being the inside. So get this, stick you there. Stick you up here. Stick those up there. And of course, obviously, stick these up here. Now, I know I glossed over it, but when I picked these off the roll, I cut them in a specific direction. Because if I was trying to save space on the roll, I would have cut them in the other way. But when I cut them, I cut the curve that way. So it naturally is rolled around in a circle. So I cut them around the roll like that, so they'd naturally want to make a circle. I'm doing this, butting them up to each other. Now, you put the tape around the outside of the seam like that, then just unfold it on the inside, which creates a nice channel there. And squeeze shut. All of the excess hot glue is squeezed out onto the inside, not the outside. And it makes life a lot easier in the long run to do this. And you've got one stuck already. To be fair, this is a technique that I really would love to have known when I started this. Like when I started cosplaying, because like getting seams to line up like this is really difficult. Now the problem is I've put loads of tension in on the wrong side. I mean, ultimately that's not that bad, but as you can see, it is not going out like a straight flower at the moment. You can see it's all twisted and warped, so it should be like that. But I'm going to have to correct all of that later, and it's going to be a whole thing. Squeeze in. The problem with this method is that you end up sticking the tape on as well. If you leave it on for too long, it'll actually glue itself on permanently. Don't leave it on for long enough, it falls apart. If you leave it on for too long, it remains stuck, and you have to go in with a hot air gun later to get it all off. Which are all things that I have done. Starting to go. Actually looks a little bit better than the original. As you can see, it's not always easy once you get to this stage, because you're putting a lot of tension on it. Not like that. Just a little more. This will actually work for making eggs by the look of it. I will see. This is the point of prototyping, is you find out what's good and what isn't. I mean, it's not as good, but this one definitely is not going like on anything. It's just a test run. As should be evident, when the amount of tension goes up, the seams get worse. So you've got a nice seam, big one, bad one, getting worse, 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 and then now I just have to manage to get the glue gun in there on the seams. It's definitely not as good, but it's after. Let's get the tape off. This does end up being a horrific mess. It's fine. So I'm putting on too much for this stuff. Let's start pulling this up, shall we? It's not bad. like that. I am trying to. This admittedly, that one's one going on Fatman, but I thought give it a shot, make another one. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to correct that one, which means... Oh, wow, okay, now I have my tools next to me. I was not... no, protective equipment. I have that somewhere else. Back in a second. Right. So this section is going to be loud down to the fact that I'm having to use power tools, but on the upside, I get to use power tools again. Sounding well too, I guess. So that's eye protection. Oh crap. Okay, to note, that is a fail for appliance testing, so I can't use this outside of the studio anymore, outside of my studio anymore. And I shouldn't be using it at all. It's safe, but I'd have to replace the whole wire. There's no exposure of the conductor, so we're okay. No chance for electrocution. Okay, so this is going to be loud, sorry. Okay, I think that's enough unsafe practices. That, to be fair, the thing weighs about 5 grams, so it being thrown is me not holding it hard enough. It's very rare that I have to work on something this light, that's all. Got it. Perfect cosplay. So yes, very obvious safety advice. Actually secure your work when you're working on it. I quite obviously was not securing it properly, hence the fact of it jumping out my hand all the time. And also usually when I'm working with things with that, they usually weigh more than like a gram. Right. So, having done that, we now know this one is not going to work as well because it's a little bit too thin at the centre. This is a bit more of a domed cylinder than like an actual, like, fully shaped thing. But okay, is it that's how conveniently sized? How about the side ones? How big are they? Convenient, eh? So we just cut 2 of these. That's one. Oh wait, no, I only need one because the other one needs to hold the bottom. Heck, no, that's not better. Due to what I'm planning, the other one will be or due to what I'm planning, I need the hole in the bottom of the one that's going to be the... Sorry, the one that's going to be the nuke. Nuke needs an extra hole at the bottom, that's all. So that's going to be the good one, that's going to be a prop on its own. Just put some of that around the edge and pop. That's why I try to keep all the rivets when I'm punching holes. They come in useful for filling stuff later, usually. Or being rivets, or... Now, of course, this one's got a bit of mess on that side, but that'll be fine. We can adapt around that later. And this one is a complete mess. Now for the outside we're going to need more structural material, so we're going to move up to 45. Now unfortunately I have in fact lost my original that I used last time. So I mean, like, it's going to take me about 5 seconds to make another one. And you make the little fins that come out, because this has already been cut to the contour of the thing. Conveniently, someone's already done this, all the work for me here. So what I need is a section that follows this curve. So we've got that like that. But of course the mini nuke comes out, and let's do some measurements, and I want this to be about 1 mil smaller than I had it last time. Do I have to use that horrible tape? Yep, I'm gonna have to use my straight edge. Sure I don't have better. So original is 4.5, so if we make the new one 4. Wow, is it really that small? Yeah, wow. So yeah, 3.75 is about right. It's about 2, it'll be about 1.5, which is... Oops. Okay, let's do that again. This time with a straight line to start with. .75. 3.75 about. Okay, so we've got that. That there, then we'll keep that away from the heater. We do not want those two getting together. .5. So let's cut it out and try again. Now, to be fair, when I made the Mark 1, okay, so we've got about an extra 2 centimeters on that. So we need about an extra half out. So we need to go out by like this much. So that's the original, so we have an extra centimetre on, going down. And we go out like that much further. When you've built an entire prop around a single thing, replicating it is pretty important. But I do want to make it slightly smaller because this is just a bit too big for me. I was never really happy with it, so... Okay, so that's the correct length. Just a tiny bit longer. So if we rebuild it down to there, and if we cut that little bit off the edge, it'll come off both sides and make this bit just that tiny bit thinner. Because this is just feels a tiny bit too big, so... Okay, so there you go. We're officially finished for that. Okay, Mark 2 skirt. Slight change from the Mark 1. So I'm going to need 8 of these. course, and just straight up application, same as always. Of course, when doing these things, try to reuse as much waste as possible on the smaller bits. And this here is the much higher quality foam as well, because, well, this stuff's expensive, basically. And of course, because this is actually a structural piece now. It's actually the stands that the bomb sits on. So that's number 3. Might end up being useful. Got one down there, one down here, one there, and one here. Just put a straight back there, a bit here, and a bit down there. So that's 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8, this is going to be a lot. Number 9. Ten. It's at the end of this tutorial. I don't waste loads. Ooh, yes it is. Good. We want easy access to the bottom of that, so I got to stick these on pretty much. So about there. By the look of it, the last time I did this, the reason why I ended up being messed up in width is that I didn't do my just below orange. Okay. One down. So this one's getting stuck on orange, okay? one's standing. So that's 2. And now for this nightmare. Just a tiny bit off this one. And a tiny bit off this one. There you go. It's not riding it straight, but we don't care. Now, 2 of these should have almost identical diameters, and the third one will have a completely wild one that has no real relation to anything that we've done here. That's fine. So that again, 4 centimeters. No, I don't have anything that's really suitable for this apart from the full roll. So back to the roll, I guess. Okay, let's... Okay, so that's a terrible measurement, but that's literally 445 by 4. Just gonna check here. I have a suspicion what I did. Nope, that's 5. Let's move these to safety. That's 2 of them. 1 of them. Okay, we can chuck that one on the bad one. So unfortunately, I'm sort of in the way here. Okay, so that bit gets to go, and then we start measuring 4 centimeters up here. Okay. Stay. Okay, you're the bad one, so we know which one you're going to. First up, this one's sort of a little bad, so this one's rolling up into a circle, then doing that. Is that really that brave? No. So I'm just tacking that on now. So, in theory, this should just be 5 mils of 1 centimetre to either side smaller than that one, which I mean, it is, give or take a little bit, and that feels far more naturally sized now. I mean, it still looks pretty big, but it still looks bigger than it should be, but it looks smaller than that does, which is fine. So that's one. If you are making 2 of them together and trying to make them identical, it's not just easier to stick the 2 together like this. That's not right. Be about there. This is writing up way, way, way too high. It should be about there, not how high this thing's actually going. So I'm going to have to correct that. That's much better. So there you are. That is much better than it was. And don't forget to hydrate, because I have not drunk much this session. So that's 2. Oh, whoops, it's going to be right on the end. Give that a minute to dry. Okay, no. A nice circle on the bottom. On the bottom. That's number 3, which is not riding remotely level. That's fine. So the point of a prototype. I know I keep referring back to this a lot, but it's about a centimetre strip up the scent for this bit. That's good enough. about right. A bit of tape, just see if this fits. Tiny little bit off one end. A little bit more. So the problem with entirely bespoke parts is that you end up just a little bit more. Okay, so we've got our little ring in the centre. Just put that up there, and that one there to dry. Drop it in there just so we remember where it goes. This is probably going to be too big, but we're not that worried about that. Wow, right first time. Just drop that in there. Please look, this bit won't be. Oh, of course. Will you be enough? Yes. Skip number one. That's as far as I'm going to get these, but once these rings are in, I'm going to be stopping for the day. But next time I'll be doing loads of detailing across all of these. That's one. To be fair, this ring is basically pointless structurally towards what I'm building. It's just on the original, so it's going on mine. And I'm leaving the hole in the bottom of this one open because, well, what I have planned is after the plate's done and I can go out and buy stuff again. Because with this one being the Nuke, it has a light up section, so I intend to put a lighting rig in it, because my thing really is putting pointless lighting rigs in things. Also, it may not look possible, but this one's getting salvaged too. All three of them are going to look good in the end, don't worry about that. So, I mean, that is it for today, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's it. So, thanks for coming. It's been nice to have company while doing this. Should be about 6 days I should be back to it. And I'll be back playing Link's Awakening tomorrow, so okay, so bye.